Yeah.
This is the Heart of LAFC podcast, episode 99.
The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Jerry Jimenez and Josef Zacher.
What is up? Welcome to the Heart of LAFC podcast. My name is Jerry Jimenez, your host, your friend, your insider into the Los Angeles Football Club. Thank you for joining Joseph and I for episode 99, one away from 100. That's right, 99, like Diomande, 99 of the Heart of LAFC. Mr. Josef Zacher. Dude, we have quite a game coming up, wouldn't you say?
Oh boy. Yeah, the game, honestly. I cannot wait. I wish it was already Friday. I'm ready to go. 3252 is ready to go. The city of LA is ready to go. This one is going to be amazing.
It's going to be great. And it's, in case you didn't know, it's the much anticipated El Tráfico, LA Clásico, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. We're going to be facing those from over there.
The others.
The Galaxy,
Call me out.
of course, at Dignity Health Sports Park. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot of words, isn't it?
It's a lot of words. They've gone through, like 3 name changes now in, 3 years or something? At least it feels like
way too way too many. They might as well not paint anything on there. Just use tarps because it seems to be a thing for them.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's Carson. Are you surprised?
No, not at all. All right, so let's do this. LAFC will face the Galaxy next Friday, July 19th. That's this Friday, July 19th, at Dignity Health Sports Park. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is ridiculous, but 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll be broadcast live on ESPN if you can't make it. ESPN LA 710 as well on the radio. KFWB 980. ESPN, it's the big time. Of course, you're going to be able to see it anywhere. Yeah, man. You going?
Of course I'm going.
All right.
If I was on my deathbed, I'd have them wheel the bed into the place.
Oh.
I'm not missing this one. I don't care if my leg falls off. I will be there. I have to. I'll fly above it. Whatever it takes, I'm going to be at this game. It's them. It's that simple. And it's time. So I have to be there. And we have to be there. And we're going to roll deep. And take over that park just like we take over so many other parks in this league. We're ready for it. Can't wait. So it's interesting to see where they're at right now and where we're at compared to what it was last year and when we faced them in their house. If you remember from last year, the first game we played them, I think we only had a few games under our belt and really didn't know each other yet. And they took advantage of that with a midnight arrival of a certain villain. So that was that. Second time we played them over there, Simon was deactivated for the match and traded off. Again, unsettling situation right before we have to play them. Both cases, you're taking out heart and soul players, or, again, you're just not ready for that game, and it was heartbreak. First one was major heartbreak. We lost. Second one was a draw that I don't think we expected in that moment because of the circumstances. Now, coming into this year, coming into this match, I think the tables have definitely turned. And now we're playing them with the advantage. Even though we're going to their house, all signs are pointing to us having an advantage going in. We look more confident with where we're at. Our team has much more chemistry at this point than any point last year. And we're setting records at this point and searching for records. So it's a great time to be an LAFC supporter because our guys are in form and ready to go. Even on games, again, on short rest, our reserves are stepping up. So what's our lineup going to be? We got options, which is a beautiful thing. We can't say what the lineup's going to be completely because we got options. Yeah. It's a good time to be an LAFC fan.
Absolutely. And as you were saying, we do have that advantage where it looks like we're coming into this a lot more confident. Galaxy do sit in third place. If you guys know, just a few days ago, they were actually in second place. However, they have been knocked out of second place by the Seattle Sounders. So Galaxy sit in third place with a record of 11-1-8. They have a +2 goal differential. You have in your notes extremely inconsistent over the last 5 matches.
Yes.
You want to tell them a little bit of how inconsistent they've been? Because it's been
this
roller
is the
coaster
story
for them, for sure.
Either they shut you out or they get blown out. It's the weird thing. So let's go last 5. Better to go last 5. So going 5 matches back, they lost 4-0 to Portland in the Open Cup. Yes, they had reserves in that match, and yes, Portland had reserves in that match, but they still got blitzed 4-0, and it could have easily been 6 or 7 in that game. Completely played off the pitch and basically showed a lack of depth. That's what that showed in that match. So now we know. Next up, they played Cincinnati. Yes, FC Cincinnati, and they won 2-0. And that was, of course, at home in their comforts of home. And again, Cincinnati is Cincinnati. We know where they're at right now. We know how their struggles as an expansion side. Isn't it convenient they get to beat an expansion side at home 2-0? We know what that's about. Then they got to go to San Jose, and San Jose takes them back to the big stadium.
Real quick,
and San Jose.
You were saying about Cincinnati, and sorry to interrupt you. I had my mute button on, and then I was like, Cincinnati's actually on a winning streak right now of two games in a row.
Ooh.
So just want to throw that out there. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, they're back on track a little bit, but at 2 games, I mean, we do that. We do that in less than 48 hours if we have to do it, right? So what else? Yeah. So they play San Jose. They go on the road against San Jose. I think they thought they were going to get a result, and San Jose blanked them 3-0. And if you watch the match, it was pretty glorious to watch. San Jose and the Almeida effect is in play, guys. They found themselves. We know that. We played in the Open Cup, but they found themselves.
Yeah.
Then they come home, and they get to play Toronto, which, let's be honest, I think that was Toronto without Josie and Toronto without Bradley in that match. I believe that was going on. Yeah, so they beat Toronto 2-0 at home, and it's a short-sighted Toronto. Then finally they come home, and guess who it is? The Smurfs. And they're thinking, good, we got our guys. We're at home. We can do this. They score an early goal, think they're going to take it to San Jose on the day, and San Jose proceeds to take the match over almost immediately after giving up an early goal and completely blanks the Galaxy. 3 straight goals unanswered. Take the 3-1 victory, only allow a single shot on goal. It was just in the first few minutes before they got settled in and completely manhandled the Galaxy. Sweep the season series, game, set, match, done. Almeida effect in full force. Now, from the goals that were scored in the match, there was one goal that was faulted on the keeper because of the reaction of the ball after the save. It was a fat rebound, let's be honest, and he had to dig it out of his own net as a result. But to be fair, they were completely peppered, and their goalkeeper kept them in the match, and it could have been 5-6-1. They were throttled. It was no doubt, and their keeper kept them in. Even though he had one mistake, he kept them in the match. It got so bad for them, and I guess so bad for them in the locker room, that they closed the doors for the press after the match and weren't available. So locker room closed, no locker room interviews, probably some nasty team meeting, who knows. But things don't seem all that well in Carson right now, at least internally. It doesn't look like something's working out there. Fan reactions that I've seen, they're turning on just about every player and wanting to buy a bunch of new people and just basically blow this up. Some hate is being thrown back on Zlatan himself as being a selfish player, which you signed him because he was a selfish player. Like, are you surprised?
That was part of the deal.
You want the line, you get the teeth. It's that simple. So deal with it. This is the animal you created. This is the animal that you wanted. You wanted the personality. Deal with it. Now you'll have to adjust. There's obviously infighting going on with that team. I think it's both on and off of the field, it seems. And so they're in a very different situation than us. We're dealing with fatigue because we're performing, okay, and playing extra matches. They're in another case where it's head games. And I've even saw comments today to get rid of their coach, which is insanity. But that is what's going on with their team right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't put that on the coach. I feel like he's doing the best that he can with what he has to work with, and you have to take into consideration the big what's the big presence that they have in the locker room that is kind of a big negative presence, right? In Zlatan, I mean, he's a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong, and I know, we try to. I try to be as professional as possible and say, he is. He's a good player at the end of the day, but he's a jerk. He is such a jerk. And you were saying they closed down the locker room. So apparently he left. Right, he didn't even stay. He left as soon as they blew the whistle. He went straight to his car and straight home. Jonathan Dos Santos also refused to talk. And the only people that stepped up, I believe, were like Bingham and Felcher, who had the first goal. And they said, we have issues. We have some problems that we need to fix. And I think they've been aware of their ailments this entire season. It's surprising to me, and I think a lot of people agree on this, that they've been able to keep in second place for as long as they have, playing as badly as they have, and still, cranking out wins. I think that's pretty much, that's Galaxy in a nutshell. Always, they somehow play a terrible game, and at the end of the second half, somehow they bring it back and are able to get 3 points away. That's kind of been their MO for a long time, I think. Just frustrate the opponent until finally, they get a win. But it's never pretty from them. It's never been pretty from
not
them.
for a while.
Not for a while, I should say. Yes, not never. They had their seasons where they're amazing, and a lot of the records right now being held are from Galaxy, from the past. But they are a ghost of their past, man. They're nowhere close to what they used to be. Obviously, they had to step it up once we came into the scene, coming back from being the wooden spoon winners last season to where they are now. I mean, that's a big improvement in just that. But look at how many changes they've had and where they are now. Even, I mean, if you look at them on paper, they should be pretty darn good.
They have plenty of talent. There's no question. They have talent.
They're not fun to watch. And I think that there's no Galaxy supporter that can say otherwise. They're not fun to watch.
No. All the chatter that I'm hearing is that they're going to lose on Friday, and they all think they're going to lose on Friday. That's what I'm hearing, which is crazy talk. Well, it's a rivalry match.
The thing is, a lot of them are saying that they're like, well, I mean, we lost to San Jose, and that's more important. And we really had to beat San Jose. That's their rivalry. Apparently, that's what they're going to use, is that San Jose is the true rivalry. Well, guess what? You lost twice to them. So now concentrate on us because we're next, right? And so...
Well, you know what?
Go ahead.
I what they're doing by saying that is they're trying to downplay the fact that they have to play us.
Oh, for sure.
Again, it's the issue of them not wanting to give us the satisfaction of taking them out and it hurting them.
Yeah.
But everyone knows where their heads are at right now. You saw the big announcement last week. It's perfect timing for them having to play us this week. Why they would do that last week and still be previewing it this week. And it's the elephant in the room. Shall I say what it is?
Yes, please.
Safe standing, okay? They're copying the North End. They're even calling it the North End. And they're going to claim, we've been saying it long for you guys. You know what, dude? It wasn't a supporter section. It was general admission. That's all it was. Call it what you want. Label it as it is. Say you were trying to build it. Let's be honest. They were trying to get rid of half of their supporters 2 years ago. Yeah. That simple.
Yeah.
They have never had love for their supporters. It has always been a contentious relationship. Going even back to Beckham, where a guy jumped onto the field to go after him. It's been a contentious relationship with their supporters. So they can lie all they want. They can play this game. They can market like they always have marketed. But at the end of the day, what they're doing is reactive rather than proactive. They're reacting to us. There's no question. So their club is, their fans are. They'll try to downplay because they know that they might be in trouble this week. So they want to downplay it. And they're going to try to play up now all the fans and the club love each other and it's all going to work out. And because we're going to have this supporter section, we're going to fill back up again as if it was the Beckham years.
Yeah. And so one thing that I've seen too is a lot of them commenting about how we act like we and we, I mean, LAFC as a community, we act like we invented safe standing. No.
Nope.
And we've never claimed it. And there's going to be some people that maybe aren't too knowledgeable, that don't understand that it's been around for a long time. I believe it was Orlando that really brought it to MLS first. But I promise you that is something that has been talked about for a long, long time. Now they said, we've been trying to get this for years now. For 10 years, I think is the number that they threw out there. Okay, well, why is it just now that you're able to make it happen all of a sudden? You had to make the rest of your stadium pretty before you started caring about your supporters? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, they made their stadium pretty for a football team.
Oh, well.
Not for the soccer team.
So that was not something that I was actually keeping up with. So the Chargers are no longer going to be playing there this coming season? Is that for 2020? Is that what it is?
No, they're still there.
Okay. So, yeah. And they're going to have the safe standing section for Charger games? No.
Well, they're rail seats. So they're playing on our queue. We're the first club in the United States to have rail seats. So there's safe standing, then there's rail seats.
You can bring
which can lock up and come back down again.
Got it.
Right? We use a custom model. From what I saw in their renderings, they're using one that's been sold pretty much. I think they have it at Celtic for sure. Plenty of German stadiums have it where it's a key lock system in the front of the rail seat. Uh-huh. That's what the renderings show to me, is they're trying to use the locking seat mechanism where it's a one key and the tenant walks by and unlocks them all to bring them back down again. It's a really cool system. It's not even remotely comfortable because it's metal seats. It's not. But it's better than the benches they currently have. But it is proper like rail seating. It is proper safe standing if they do pull this off. But this was never in their wheelhouse. It wasn't. This is a new reaction, and that's fine. It's, you can be honest about it rather than playing this 10-year card, because again, that's not even remotely true.
Well, I mean, listen.
Maybe their supporters wanted it, but they didn't voice it. Nobody heard anything.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it was just a couple of them. And here's the thing: is you have to keep in mind this is benefiting. I mean, they're saying it's for their supporters. It's only benefiting the Angel City Brigade and the Galaxians. The Riot Squad is still staying in their corner, and I don't know if they still have the same section 138 over there, right?
Yeah, that's the intent. Yeah.
138 and 139. So that whole corner section is still going to be Riot Squad. And my understanding is they actually attempted, and they have been working. They even brought Zlatan Ibrahimovic in to try to convince these guys to join forces, and it didn't work. And they said, listen, no, we're not doing that. And it was mainly Riot Squad saying, no, we're good where we are. And you know what? Kudos to them. I don't think that because of anybody, including the 3252, anybody should change what they have going on. And my understanding, and this may be true or not true, it doesn't matter, but what is out there from both of them, at least they can agree to put this message out there, and that is that there's no problem between ACB and Riot Squad, that they just agree to disagree and they wanted to do their own thing, and so they're not going to be doing things together, and they agreed on that. But they're not fighting each other basically, which at some point I think we all kind of believed that and saw that. That's the whole reason for the separation. However, whatever they have going on over there, it's working for them. That's their culture over there, is they have separation. And that works for them, and that's fine. And I don't think that anybody should be pushing them otherwise. Unless you're involved, then, you're involved with them and you feel that way, then voice it.
From a distance.
But, from a distance, if you're not involved with what they're doing over there, then you might not understand what that dynamic is like. And there's no reason why you should even be bringing it up and trying to change something that you're not involved in and that doesn't affect you. So there's that. And again, I'm trying to be as professional about this as possible.
Club spin, to be honest.
Sure,
it's club spin, dude.
Exactly. It's not so much the supporters. I think that supporters are doing what they can with what they're given over there. And from my understanding, I think it's the same for you, is there was always some kickback from the club, as in saying like, no, we're not going to do that. And the club not necessarily supporting the supporters, at least nowhere close to what 3252 gets. The support that we get from our front office is beautiful and it's amazing, and I wish that every front office was like that, but that's not the case. Reality is that some clubs think
most cases are ugly.
Yeah. I mean, look at Columbus. Look at clubs like, even for a while, I think Chicago.
The Fire.
Yeah,
right?
They had a
it's
really
falling
bad.
apart.
It was terrible.
Yeah, total disconnect.
I mean,
the Screaming Eagles and all of the DC supporters and what they were dealing with as they moved into a new stadium, it was ugly. Dude, it's usually contentious when it comes to this. And teams like LAFC, Atlanta United, eventually Austin, they're going to use the model, and they have been using the model like ours, where it's community-driven. Portland, community-driven. Seattle, community-driven. That's the new MLS. That's how you're supposed to do it. So if the Galaxy is actually going to follow through with this, that means they're adopting the new model.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of confidence they will, right? Let's see the follow-through on this. We'll see. If they do, no excuses. It should grow. It should go crazy. It should be nuts, and it should be more active support that we're all going to have to deal with, and it'll be a proper rivalry as it should be in the stands as well as on the field. Yeah. If you have all the pieces working for you, it should work. Definitely removes any excuses for a lack of growth.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, we strongly dislike. I don't like using the word hate, but we pretty much hate the Galaxy, right? The supporters, there's animosity there. There's a lot of, back and forth there that, it's been on the news. It's been everywhere. Whatever. That's the rivalry. It's good. But at the end of the day, if they have a strong supporters section that really brings an atmosphere to games, it adds to the rivalry. It makes everything on the field, the product on the field, better as well. So how can you hate on them trying to do something positive to make that better? I would say yes. Like I want to see that happen in Carson. Will we see it happen? That's doubtful, man. It's tough. It almost feels like the North End that they're doing over there, which, by the way, they called it the North End. Go figure. The safe standing over there, it feels a little bit like pushed too much by the front office, not so much by the supporters. Am I right?
Yeah, it feels more like marketing than grassroots.
Yes.
Well, it always has over there. Nothing new.
Yeah.
And sorry, have to say it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Again, we would hope that it's going to work out, and but that's been kind of the thing. Like they have to release something big like this to
steal thunder.
To steal thunder, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the points speak for themselves. Just look at the table, and then also go and look at the style of play. They just haven't been fun to watch. Yeah. I mean, I don't have much else to say about that, but...
Well, I would say this. I'll throw this out there. You don't have to be the best on the field to have the best support. You don't have to be the juggernaut of the league to still genuinely support your fan base.
Sure.
And to have the give and take and the communication. Some of the best supporters in the world are supporting teams that have never won a single trophy, that rarely ever move up out of the second division, and when they do, drop down within 3 seasons. But every game they still show up. They don't care about the results. Why? Because they're connected to their club.
Yeah.
Their club is an extension of their city. Their club is, well, them. They see themselves when they see their club. And LAFC has done everything in their power to make that the case, where our supporters, when they see those wings, they see themselves. It's like looking in the mirror. It's an extension of themselves and what they want the club to be. There are things that could always be better with every club, but ultimately, identity-wise, is community. LAFC is LA. It's the people of LA. There is no question. There is no corporate takeover. Nobody from maybe Colorado that's running the team from a distance that doesn't know what's happening from day to day. They're on the ground. They're united. If the Galaxy get that way, and that identity follows through, and they follow through with their supporters, well, great. That means there's 2 healthy clubs in the region, with active support, with a culture that they're developing, that they're building on, and we'll clash every time we play and see an amazing match, and the rivalry will be proper, and we'll be fighting for cups. Good deal.
Yeah, good deal. Good deal all around. So it's a good thing. And before we jump into lineups, injuries, that sort of thing, I just have to mention Away Days Football, man. So good. They are supporting us and just the LAFC community. So make sure you check them out if you haven't. That is our sponsor for the day. Of course, awaydaysfootball.com. They have a bunch of their own stuff as well as some mixed mystery kits, which they added the women's national team, women's cut, I should say, mystery kit. Yeah. But yeah, check that out, awaydaysfootball.com. It's worth every penny. You basically pay for an unknown kit from a club somewhere in the world. You don't know what you're going to get. It's usually not going to be a big kit unless they also have that option if you want a bigger kit or a bigger club's kit. They're high quality. They're usually going to be, the replicas, and sometimes you even get an authentic, which is crazy. And I've seen a couple of people get authentic Adidas kits. So make sure you check that out. Joseph loves it. I still haven't gotten mine because I'm failing, but I'm going to. I'm just enjoying seeing everybody else's jerseys, honestly. But I know you had like the Olympiacos jersey that you got is beautiful.
I love my Olympiacos jersey. My Montpellier jersey's cool. It's tight cut though, man. It's a game jersey. And then my Nottingham Forest jersey with the 2 stars on the top, blacked out. I love blacked out jerseys.
Yep.
Dude, it's cool. It's cool. And I think Philly sent it my way. I think he just got a Sunderland kit, a Black Cats kit.
Oh, there you go.
Which is cool. Like, I didn't see that one in the mix yet, so he got something different. And dude, it's just fun. It's fun to wait for it to come in. They usually give you an email ahead of time, so it's on the way.
Yeah.
So you can expect it, and packaged. Again, they're brand new kits. They're just usually from a season or 2 ago, but they're packaged brand new kits. It's good stuff.
That's awesome. All right. So yeah, make sure you check them out. awaydaysfootball.com. Use code LAFC at checkout. You get a little bit of a discount there, a little bit of a kickback, and it shows them that we're sending people their way. So it helps us out as well. So again, awaydaysfootball.com. Check it out. All right, now let's jump into some injuries. Galaxy has a couple, actually 3 pretty important injuries right now. Their depth's pretty good, honestly. They have some good players in that club. Romano Alessandrini, who is one of their DPs currently, probably not going to be a DP for much longer. It sounds like they're trying to get a player by the name of Pavon. I don't know if you've heard him, but from Boca Juniors. And so
Makes sense.
It makes sense with who their coach is. And so Romano Alessandrini out with a knee surgery. He's going to be out pretty much the entire season, out 4 months. And then you have Chris Pontius, who was questionable last time with a hamstring injury. Chris Pontius, also a veteran name and presence for the Galaxy, as well as Sebastian Lletget out with the pelvis injury. And man, Lletget just cannot get healthy. He's in and out. If you guys remember that, he was out the entire last season with a really bad injury and out again. So those 2, Pontius and Lletget, were marked as questionable for last game. I don't know if that's going to be the case this game, but it sounds like they are still recovering. And I mean, they don't really have much to worry about with who they have playing in the club. Honestly, they do have a pretty strong lineup. And now the interesting thing is going to be how do we line up against them, right? So just to kind of go through their lineup that they showed against San Jose, I'm assuming there's going to be a couple of changes. I don't know. Maybe this is the best lineup that they can get out there. But if you look at their lineups, it's kind of like it's listed like as a 4-5-1.
Yeah, it's more like a 4-2-3-1, I think. It's going to look like double back. It's weird who they're using though for the deep mid. It's really odd. So,
Yes.
yeah. So their lineup they used against San Jose was David Bingham in net. I think that's a guarantee. We're going to see David Bingham again.
Yeah.
Your back line was Rolf Fletcher, Daniel Steres, Giancarlo Gonzalez, and Jorgen Selvik. Okay, cool. I see some options for us there. Um, their defensive midfielders are Joe Corona and Jonathan Dos Santos. Interesting, because they're both offensive-minded players. And then their center mid, you got Efren Alvarez, Fabio Alvarez, and Carlos Antuña. So we all saw what Carlos Antuña did during the Gold Cup. We know what he's capable of. It's kind of his moment to shine. And then up top, we all know who's going to be up there. It's going to be Zlatan unless he's had a total temper tantrum and he leaves the team this week, which, let's be honest, that's not happening.
That'd be great.
We're going to be playing Zlatan. We shouldn't be playing Zlatan, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes here. But
talk about it now, actually, because yes, this is something that really bothers me. And at the same time, I understand it from the MLS's point of view, and at the same time, I also kind of want him to be on the field because I want to be able to destroy that club with their best weapon on the field. So they have no excuses to say, "Well, Zlatan wasn't in there," or if Dos Santos or Antuna are out, well, Antuna wasn't out, or we didn't play Alvarez, or whatever excuses they can come up with. I want this to be thrown out the door. I want the best possible starting in 11 for Carson on Friday. Would you agree with me on that?
Whatever lineup they feel, they're gonna pick out whoever's missing. Say that's why they lost. They are who they are. But here's the deal: Zlatan is the face of the club, right?
Yes.
He is their identity, live and die identity. It is what it is. If he's not there, yeah, they've got an out, right? But if he is there, beat him, right? He's hurt us in the past. Except I think he's figured him out.
I think he has to.
He's hurt us bad in the past. We want revenge. Okay. Is he eligible to play? Well, MLS says so, but it doesn't match up with the rules they have on paper. Right? They're breaking their own rules to get him playing this game because it's a national TV game. So, once again, the Galaxy turn MLS into sports entertainment rather than sport because they always change the rules for them. Is this WWE? Like, what the heck? That's rules are the rules, and if this player's suspended, you have to respect it, and they're not. Again, they're getting a pass from the league, like they always do. If you want to count the cups, how many of them are legitimate? How many times they've gotten favors to get there? That's why people don't respect them because they always get a pass. They always get a pass. They always get the benefit of the doubt. They change rules for them. And once again, something's happening here where one of their players gets an advantage for the sake of national television rather than the good of the sport.
Yeah. So the explanation was posted officially by Kevin Baxter and also Josh Guessman over at Corner of the Galaxy. So the explanation from MLS as to why Ibrahimovic, what did his jersey say? Ibrahimovic.
I guess it wants to sound like Herbalife. I don't know.
Why he won't miss the game against LAFC is his yellow card in the Sean Johnson incident doesn't count against his total since he was suspended by the MLS disciplinary committee for that. So since he was suspended
the player out.
Yeah, so he was suspended for 2 days. I mean, for 2 games, sorry.
But that's not a red card.
They basically went like this. They went, slap at the wrist, and all right, that yellow doesn't count anymore. Which I don't know. I posed this question to Josh. I said to Josh Guessman, by the way, of Corner of the Galaxy. I said, do you think that this has happened before with like another club somewhere? And he said, yeah, I'm sure it has. I don't have that information. Nobody's going to look that up, and that's going to be really difficult to try to find that. But I don't see that having happened before. And nope. I get it. The league. So apparently the game started, and the league said, by the way, Ibra still has 2 yellows before he's going to be suspended.
He has to get red carded today to miss the next match. Is that what they claim to have said?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. That's what they're saying, even though they didn't say it. Got it. Okay. I mean, it's cool. You know what? We're playing at their classic form. This is what they do. So it's fine. I want to play them like this. That's cool. I want to see the best they got against us, our best versus their best. Let's do this.
A couple of things that I did want to mention as well about as far as stats go for the San Jose game. I love reading these stats because it was such a telling game for what we're going to be facing, right? And you were looking at shots. San Jose had 32 shots, man. 32 shots.
I've seen hockey games with less shots.
Galaxy had 5. We're looking at on target. They had 1 on target. And we know that ended up in a goal, which is good. I mean, that's, worked out for them.
Efficiency.
That's efficiency. And then, man, poor Bingham worked this game like no other. He basically kept Galaxy from getting just completely destroyed. I mean, if you want to say 3-1 wasn't destroyed, which I would say it was, but I think it could have been worse. Can you imagine? So
25 chances created.
Yes.
3 big chances. 16 shots on goal.
16
shots on goal.
Possession. Look at the possession. So they were 54, about 55% for
55 to
for
45.
San Jose, and I promise you that if you watch that game, it didn't feel that way. It felt more like I'm gonna say like 70-30.
It didn't. Yeah, and then guess how many shots? This is pretty cool. Okay, San Jose had 15 shots inside the box. 15.
Wow.
That's given up a lot as a defender.
Oh yeah.
15 inside the box, and you know that 16 shots in total were on goal for the day. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Passing success, I mean, they're both above 80, so that's fine. Any other things that would stand out? 97 duels. They were even on duels. Discipline, 3-3. And then saves. Again, 14 saves for Bingham. 14 saves. That is a lot of shots on goal.
Yep.
And of course, 0 saves for San Jose because, well, they only faced 1 shot on goal. He was under siege, and for anybody to be going after him for this, dude, you're clueless. You really are. I expect a mistake when a goalie gets pummeled like this. It's bad news, man. Really bad news. And the only really bright spot for the match for them, I'll be honest, is probably Rolf Fletcher. I mean, he had a decent game.
Which, by the way, he hadn't actually played with them for a few games. He made his way back into the starting lineup and really did impress. And I think a lot of people were really speaking ill of him before the game started, saying, why is he even in the lineup? And sure enough, he goes and scores the goal. And then, he was way more offensive than he was defensive. He's a
yes.
At least in this game, it almost felt like he said, you know what, if nobody else is going to do it, I'll take it upon myself to move up. And he did look good. He did impress. And compared to everybody else, Joe Corona did not look like himself for the night. There's a couple of other players in there that I would say Antuna didn't look all that great that night either. Ibrahimovic, pretty much all he does is he stays in the box and waits for the ball to get to him. That's the strategy.
I guess he had one. He hit the post once, right?
Yeah, he did.
He had a post shot. Yeah. So that was pretty much his only effect on the day. Otherwise, he was pouting and sulking all game.
Yeah.
So, and yelling at his own players. He seems to be doing that a lot lately. Everyone else is his problem, and he's not getting service. And I don't know. Does Vela ever complain about that with us, or he just makes it for himself? Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different stars, different mindset. One is chasing the other. It's very clear. We've heard about that already. Different trajectory, I think, for the teams right now. Of course, the one thing that can be dangerous is playing a rival when things are desperate. So we're dealing with a wounded animal, guys. That's what we're dealing with. They're fighting with each other, which means they're going to be fighting with us. There's going to be an edge in this game, a really big edge in this game. Expect it to be brutal. Expect the whistle to get swallowed at the most inopportune times. If you're ever going to call a match a road match, this is the one, because home field advantage, you're going to see it on an epic proportion.
Oh, yeah. So a couple of the main like league stats changed. Carlos Vela still 19 goals, of course, 19 for 19 games. Zlatan at 13, so falls him closely. I mean, 6-goal difference. Josef Martinez now tied Zlatan with 13, and Diego Rossi following suit at fourth place with 11. So 2 players up there with goals, and then also an assist. We had Maxi Morales from NYCFC over this weekend, actually now matching Carlos Vela with assist at 12. One thing also that I don't think David Bingham was in this list at all for saves, but guess what? He's now in second place for saves, 83 saves for the season, only one behind Bill Hamid from DC United. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that says a lot, guys. A lot. Okay. He's under siege. His backline's not doing him any favors.
No, that backline is not looking good. And there should be no reason for us to destroy that backline. Now, what's going to be, their lineup? Is it going to be the same? Not sure. The big question is going to be, how's our lineup going to look, Joseph? That's what I want to talk about.
That's the hardest one. I mean, we put in what we thought was our A lineup against Portland and only managed 1 shot on goal. Is that really our A lineup anymore?
Yeah,
that's the big question. How are we gonna cope for speed? Is Harvey gonna start or is El Munir gonna start? Because El Munir's been stepping up. It makes it an interesting situation. And Harvey has had some really cagey moments in the last games he's played.
Yeah.
So where do we go with that one? Are they going to account for speed and make an adjustment? What is our backline going to look like? Silva's probably not right yet. He's probably not healthy enough. So I'm thinking it's Segura and Zimmerman because Zimmerman matches up well against Zlatan. He just does.
Mm-hmm.
When he's in the lineup, Zlatan he limits him. He's very good at limiting him. Physicality's there, and Segura is quick. So that's something we didn't have last year. We didn't have the Segura effect. Now we do. That is probably the biggest change this year for us is having him back there.
Segura.
In terms of, yeah.
So
huge.
Let me list the biggest changes for me at least. I mean, man, there's too many.
So many.
Yeah. So Segura. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, dang, so many things. So Segura.
Yeah.
Atuesta.
Mm-hmm.
Atuesta this season is a completely different player. Mark Anthony Kay
is healthy.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah.
We're in the same thought wave. But I mean,
Latif is playing more dynamic than he's ever played in his life.
Carlos Vela said, "All right, I'm all in." Like he wasn't already. He said, "Now I'm really in." And then
Rossi is Rossi.
Yeah.
Right. He's the same. And up front, we're not dealing with Urania anymore. We've got a different triumvirate of potential starters, you could say. Is it Dio? Is it Ramirez? What do they want out of the first half?
Is it Celaya?
No. He came up pretty...
I just had to... I agree with you, but I had to throw it out there.
Yeah, he came up pretty rough.
He lasted 55 minutes. Come on, man. That's a step up. It's little by little. Baby steps. All right?
My biggest concern for him is are we going to sell more jerseys than he's going to get minutes this year?
Probably.
Right? Yeah. Which one's going to be more? Zelaya jersey sales or Zelaya minutes?
We'll be following that stat very closely. No.
Yes. No, I am concerned. If he's hurt again, that stinks. I'm hoping he's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't see more than a half out of him right now. That's what he's got in the tank. So you're not going to start him in a game. Could we see the Ramirez start and the Dio second half? Could that be the case? Possibly. Honestly, I'd rather just have Dio to go at this defense.
Yeah. One thing that I was one thing that I was thinking about is that's a good question. Who's going to be up front? But to me, what I think the real question is, who's going to be in the back? Who's starting? Because, say that again?
Elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room. So, Zimmerman. Does Walker Zimmerman get the start? I mean,
yes.
we kind of talked about Cisniega and Miller a little bit in the last episode, right, as well. But does Walker Zimmerman get the start? You said yes.
I can't. How do you? Before he left for the Gold Cup, what would you have said about Zimmerman?
No, he's for sure starting 11.
MLS best 11 in the back.
Yeah.
Right? He's on that level.
Easy.
So if you have a best 11 defender who has a history of shutting down probably our biggest nemesis outside of Portland, I'd say he's got to start. He's got to start just because of the size differences. Who do you want muscling Zlatan? Blackman or Zimmerman?
Oh, yeah. But if you put it that way, yes. I will absolutely take Zimmerman.
So to me, when I look at the back line, the other question do I have is does Blackman start or does Beta start?
Does El Munir start?
Or does Harvey start? Because those are your switch outs. I don't think Blackman's going in the middle for this game. No. Unless somebody's hurt, okay? Jakovic is not going to start in this game. I don't see that happening. No. We all know it's Segura. Segura is your guarantee, right? That's your constant, okay?
That's the only one I don't have a question about for sure.
Or you want me to really make it tricky? If Zimmerman starts, does that mean Miller starts too because they have a better chemistry than Miller and Cisniega?
Huh? It's a possibility.
Big question, right? So that's where that's at. And then, of course, the back of the back is who's in goal. We have questions, but our questions aren't of desperation. They're of options.
Yeah.
A different kind of questioning.
Good questions. Good questions and a good problem to have for sure. I would take Omunir. And I hate to say it, but man, the last two games he has shown up. I would take Omunir back there. Like you said, Zimmerman, Segura are probably shoo-ins for center, and then we have
Blackman versus Beta.
And I would take Beta in that situation.
Experience.
Bring Blackman in the second half. I think just for the legs part of it. I think Blackman has had a great showing as being a good attacker as well, which isn't craziness. But
distribution is crazy.
He distributes fantastically from the back, and then also moves up and puts himself in positions where he's actually helping with goals in the front. So
against the match against Dallas, what he did against those guys was to me the standout match.
Yeah.
He can handle this match, but there is a different gravity to all of this, which I think is why he won't start.
Yeah,
it's the supporter side of thing. It's the chippiness of this type of rivalry and the selective officiating that we tend to get in this match. Can a kid handle that stuff, or will it get under his skin?
Yeah,
that's harder. That's harder to deal with. But has he earned it? Yeah, honestly, I think he has. He's been playing. He's been the one guy that we can count on every match that I've seen this month.
Yeah.
Last month, too. He doesn't put in a bad performance. He's Mr. Consistent for us right now, which is there's a lot of consistent players right now. It's good. Bigger questions for midfield. Who do you start?
Man. K. I would go with Blessing.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Atuesta.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I blanked there for a second. Atuesta.
So my question on that, of course, is it win or is it Blessing? And I think at this point, because of the speed that Blessing brings to this and his awareness, because now he gets back better.
Yep.
Dude, he's going to be trouble for those guys.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a good I think it's going to be a good face-to-face with their mids. I think it'll be fun to watch. That'll be fun to watch for sure. But their defensive line is a joke right now, and I think we're just going to tear them apart. Of course, Vela Rossi. I would go with, honestly, Ramirez in the front to start.
I think Bob will.
Yeah.
I think you're right. He will. I'm just, for the passion side of thing, I just want Dio to smoke these guys. But I think strategy-wise, here's the situation. If Dio doesn't work out in that first half and the chemistry is not there, your option is now Ramirez, and that's scary.
Yes.
But if you put him in the first half and you get through the first half and he's doing okay, but we know he's not going to last a 90, your option is now Dio with a tired defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably where it's going to be. It's the safer thing to do.
Yeah.
There's no gambling going on when you do that.
No. I think that's a great lineup. I think there's no reason why we cannot tear that defense apart. The only thing is going to be now, how do we protect against Zlatan's whatever the heck magic powers that he has?
His moments. His moments.
His moments, because that's all he is made out of is moments. He doesn't play an entire game. It is like 1 moment,
No.
2 moments, 3 moments in a game, and all of a sudden it makes the big difference, which at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? So how will we be able to react when those things happen? If they strike first, can we do what we've been doing and actually continue pushing and actually get a result from this? I don't see us not getting a result from this. Of course, I think none of us want to see us not getting a result, but again, we've shown that we play to the level of the whatever club we're playing at that point.
True.
So
true, which is really frustrating.
Super frustrating.
The other thing is, for some reason, this team, for many of our players, it's in between the ears. There seems to be, we act weird in these games. There's moments.
Yeah.
Will it change because of who's changed in our lineup these days? Maybe, but it's still in the back of their heads. Those who were in that match, for that first match, the collapse, Zimmerman was in that match, right?
Yep.
There. Miller was certainly there. For those guys, that's going to be in their head the minute they walk on that field.
Yep.
And for me, I hope it's something that produces more rage than fear. That we need to get the job done and get it done early and forget everything else. What I can tell you is the big difference between that collapse and this match, Phil Haber. We don't have him anymore. He messed up in that game, and he said it too. We don't have that. Now we have a Tuesta and K. Different animal altogether. So.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Where's it going to be? It's going to be fun. It's going to be
so
a great. It's going to be a great example of different types of soccer. You have the GBS soccer, right, where it's slow build, and then you have Bob soccer, where it's front foot.
Yeah, it's going to be great,
Good
man.
stuff.
So before we go, we just wanted to do a little bit of a public service announcement to everybody that will be at this game. As you know, this is a rivalry game. This is going to be an intense game, not just in the field, but also in the stands. And with that being said, we are very much for the fun of the game. We want to make sure that everybody that goes to Carson goes knowing that everything's going to be okay. Now, their security is not the best. What they're doing for this game is pretty bad. It's my understanding that they're not doing what they did for last game, which was seat everybody together in one section. It's literally the seat that you bought. That's where you're going to sit, and we're not going to do anything about it, which means there is going to be black and gold supporters amongst Galaxy supporters.
Everywhere.
They're going to be everywhere. Yeah. And this is not going to be a good thing.
This is a brush fire with high winds.
Yeah.
You don't know where the spark's going to go next. Keep your heads, folks. Stay in numbers. Don't get isolated. They sound like crazy things to say for an MLS game, but because of what they have done with the ticket situation, you now have to think that way. If you're getting mad at somebody, get mad at their FO for doing this to us.
Yeah.
Get mad because they won't allow us to relocate people when it's a bad situation. So at this time, there are 300 designated supporter section tickets. That is it. Okay? But we know there's 1,000 of us going. At least 1,000. So where are all the rest of them going to be? Can they relocate near us? No. If they try to relocate, they'll be removed from the stadium. That's policy. So what they've all done is bought tickets all over the stadium and scattered. And the team is saying that if they actively support from where they're at, they can be withdrawn from the stadium as well.
Oh, I didn't know that part. Huh.
Yes. So if you're standing up in people's way and you're in a seated seat, you're expected to sit.
Wow.
So what I'm seeing here is a club that is reactive to us, obviously, is worried more about their ego than fan safety.
Oh,
that's what we're dealing with right now.
They're
worried about ego and being outsung in a stadium, so they're breaking us apart and creating a situation. It's not our fault that our fans buy tickets right away and get the job done, and yours don't. That's not our fault. We're just trying to support our team in the game. That's simple. Man. We're not trying to embarrass anybody. We definitely don't want to fight anybody. We'd much rather be together in our designated area with all the fans that want to be there and supporters that want to be there. We don't want to see this. But now we have a situation where we're probably going to have like 150 people in the grass berm right above ACB. How do you think that's going to go? How's the grass berm going to go when the grass berm is going to be a total, there's 2 entrances in and out of that thing, and they funnel out. So you're now going to tell people who bought the cheapest ticket in the house that they got to funnel out of 2 entrances together, pre and post, to go to get drinks, to go to the bathroom. That is what you've created? It's not really grass, whatever. Chargers got seats up there, but they're still up there. They're still in the mix, and they're still, the entrances and exits are still a wreck. So what they're doing is creating pinch points and flash points for potential issues. It's almost as if they want an incident to occur. And then for the actual active supporters, they put us above. We're in the second deck. We're above Galaxy fans. They'll be below us.
That's not good either.
What? They're trying. I honestly think they want to tap us down a bit. Honestly, so, they want to find a reason.
That corner is not going to be where the supporters are going to sit then. It's somewhere else.
No, we're not permitted to sit there. That's just going to be sold seats.
Oh, okay.
So we're in the upper deck. And not even far to the right, we have another section to the right of us that's going to be sold to other people.
I can't see.
So there's no buffer has been created either. There is no buffer.
Yeah, this is a bummer. That's so again, I wasn't aware of that. So that's a bummer in itself. And so if you are planning on going out there and you already have your tickets, just make sure you're smart, as we've been saying. Make sure that you protect yourselves. Make sure that you don't pick fights, because that's just not the way that you want to represent this club. You just don't want to ruin it for everybody else, and that's what you will be doing if you choose to pick fights and not act right, basically. So please, we just ask that you be smart about your decisions, that you watch your alcohol intake as well. The excitement of the game, things will get heated. The game itself, it's already obviously with the whole seating situation is already going to be quite a show, to say the least.
A cluster what? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Show.
A Carson show.
Show. So it's going to be
it's going to be trying for everyone that's going. Yeah. It will be a test of your patience. It'll be a test of your mettle. Be bigger, be better, be louder. Sing. If it frustrates you, sing. Sing louder. What they've done is basically make us stereo. We get to sing from every section in the stadium, not just one. So now the speakers spread around. So inspire those around you that are also wearing the black and gold. And so if you're an active supporter forced into an odd section, make friends, make noise.
Yeah, I'm assuming
make them regret this.
I'm assuming that because you guys are going to be in the second level, the speakers are going to be blasting behind you guys, trying to drown you out. That's going to be part of
us. Yeah,
they did that already the last game.
Yeah, personal experience. That upper deck as a supporter group, you can turn the stands into drums. So our feet will stamp for 90 minutes.
Yep, there you go.
Have fun with that lightning bolt of sound. And then they have a little roof over us. So guess what happens to the sound? It projects outward. It is the most short-sighted ticket setup I have ever seen.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And for those of you that are lucky enough to have those 300 and be a part of that 300, guess what? They don't have their tickets yet either.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. Everything is last second with these guys. Are making it unstable on purpose.
All right. Well, that's a bummer. So
guys,
be smart.
It's a bummer, but even more reason to support your team to the fullest. Now you know what they're made of. Let's show them what we're made of. Go out there, represent the city with pride. You know you are the city. You know the city stands with you. You've seen it from the mayor's office. You've seen the declarations. We have a holiday here. You know where the city stands. Don't lose that. Represent us with pride. Make all the noise you can and own this.
Yep. So, with that being said, you're Black and Gold, Los Angeles Football Club face the LA Galaxy Friday, July 19th, 2019, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Yes, I said LA Galaxy, Joseph. Stop looking at me like that.
Carson Galaxy.
Dignity Health Sports Park broadcast on ESPN if you can't make it for whatever reason. ESPN LA 710 and KFWB 980. Joseph, do you want to add anything else before we call this a day, man?
Stay posted. If we get more information, we'll pop it out there for you guys. In terms of maybe if there's a tailgate location for those that are forced to drive in, we'll post up. We'll all post up. We'll all retweet. We'll try to get the message out. For those of you that are on the 300 ticket list, we'll get the message out to you on how we're going to get to the game as well. You already know how that works. But we don't want to give too much information. We'd rather keep that internal with those who have the tickets for the sake of security. So we'll get more information as the week progresses. But everybody and anybody, whether you're at a watch party for this thing, whether you're in the stands, again, represent us with pride. You know what you got to do. Let's be the black and gold.
Awesome. And if you haven't seen it already, head over to LAFC.com. There's a new video there that you need to check out. We didn't really get too much time to talk about it, but our very own Mr. Joseph Sacker makes an appearance. LAFC fans commit for life. LAFC fans commit for life with tattoos. Go and check that video out. You see what we're talking about.
First one, man. First one. First of many.
It's your first tattoo?
Yeah, I've never committed to a tattoo before.
Dang. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we have to talk about it really quick. So Joseph got an LAFC tattoo, and his first tattoo is LAFC tattoo. Wow. Yeah. I'm surprised if I would have thought a Bayern tattoo would have come before an LAFC tattoo, but there you go. That's the commitment level, guys. Wow, dude.
No.
Very cool.
My local club is not thousands of miles away. My local club is at the Bank of California Stadium.
Oh, there you go.
Again, I've supported, 9 teams in this town that have come and gone or lost their way, you could say. Not one of them got inked, right? Nope. They never had the permanent feeling that this team has. There's not one that I've had the opportunity to commit to the way I have to this one, okay? This is real. This is what football is about, and that is why I did what I did. I had less than 24 hours to decide, actually probably less than 6 hours to decide whether I wanted to do it or not, and I did it.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't take much thinking. I just, okay, let's do this. Okay. Why? Because I love my club. I know what they're about. I know what they've been about. It's been a hell of an experience. And I said it before, and I said it to the guys that night. I've given plenty of sweat for this club already, and I'm going to give a lot more. I've had my share of tears for this club, and we know about a certain game that happened last year that we're playing the team this year that, I ain't going to lie, man, that was tearful. Hey, guess what? I guess I'm going to give a little blood too, and I did. So it's on. It's permanent. It's going to be the first of many to explain my journey with this club and with my family and everything else. It just happened to be the first one on the body. There was 6 others that did the same thing that night. All have their own reasons why, but it's pretty much community that drives it, guys. It's you guys. It's what we're building together. That's why I did what I did. I have no regrets. I honestly wish it was bigger. That's how much I love it. And we'll add more. So cool. I'm happy. They're happy. I know where it's a lifetime commitment, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I know about that. So if you can see on our YouTube page, I have some tattoos as well. But yeah, I'm getting one as well soon. Hopefully, we'll see once I can afford it. But check it out. LAFC fans commit for life with tattoos. Go to LAFC.com. Check that out. It's also on their social media, so you can check that out. It's a really interesting video. You can kind of see people are getting committed, man. This is, it's not the first tattoos. There's already been people who got tattoos.
Oh, man. There's some good ones out there,
too. Some really good ones. There's a Falcon one that I really, really like. There's quite a few that are amazing. So.
Yeah, one of my buddies got an Hasta la Muerta one. That was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
It had the logo and it says Hasta la Muerta. It's kind of like the pin that's out there. I think Fresh Pins is the one that has that pin.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. So the guy basically made a recreation of that pin on his leg. I've seen head tattoos as of late coming up.
Wow.
Supporter-driven ones, supporter group-driven ones. Like, dude, it's like the heavy hats and the pins. Well, tattoos are a part of the culture as well. It's just the commitment that all of us have. We see it for what it is. This is real. This is ours. So there's going to be more, right? It ain't ending. It's only going to get more.
Yeah. The passion that this community shows is something to really be proud of, and to really, really also always keep in the back of your mind that you are representing this club, you're representing the culture, you're representing everything that the Black and Gold is about. So going into this coming game, that's very important. I think this is a perfect segue to just end this and also say just make sure you keep that in mind. This has been blood, sweat, and tears, literally blood now for a lot of people. Literal sweat, literal tears. And beer showers. And there's plenty more of that to come. So let's make sure that we continue this positive, welcoming environment, not just in our home, but everywhere that we go, we're representing the club. Keep that in your minds. Anything you want to add, Joseph, before we call it
one final shout out to Rudy Hetzer. He is the tattoo artist that's responsible for this. Flew out from Dallas for it.
Wow.
Go check out his work. It's pretty amazing for this icon. It's kind of like a light jog for him to do what he did. They were out till 3 a.m. doing this. So you guys know it was a long night. It was the night of the earthquake, actually, the second earthquake. And he flew out. Look at his work, see who he's worked with before. And you'd be like, wow, man, that's again more commitment. And I was writing back and forth with him today. A lot of us were because of the video that came out, of course. And he's committed to LAFC from Dallas, and he's spreading the gospel out there. And when we go back out there again, I'm sure he's going to be in the stands with us. Again, it's infectious, guys. And shout out to Rudy for his patience and the amazing work he did.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well, we'll see you guys very, very soon on the other side of this, episode 100. So some exciting stuff for us, and we're excited to share that with all of you. We'll see what we can do for it to celebrate big, but hopefully 3 points, right, on the other end. So, all right, for Mr. Joseph Sacker, my name is Jerry Jimenez. You have been listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. Stay golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the Black and Gold is taking over.